Hello, everybody. My name is Renato Moraes. I'm professor of University of São Paulo in Brazil. And today I will talk about the collaboration actions that I did in the last 2 years, years and a half with the LexisNexis Risk Solution. These actions, collaborative actions, happen in three ways, in three paths that are considered the fundamental elements of the universe, at least in Brazil: teaching, research, and extension. The teaching activities with LexisNexis was with undergraduate course, just in production department engineering. That's my department on the Polytechnic School at University of São Paulo. We also developed two projects with students, undergraduate students. So it was very small, not complex project with students, but with very interesting results, as you see soon. And in the essential area, we created two professional education courses. The first one is a basic module about HPCC systems, and the second one, it's an intermediate module. The undergraduate course was an elective course. Oh, sorry, here go back. And we had 48 students in the first semester of this year. We invited 3 partners to participate of this course. They brought for the students some professional problems, and the students in small groups developed projects to tackle these problems. The partners was the LexisNexis Risk Solutions Insurance, the business services, and other company, other enterprise called Quad. It was, as I said, 6 different projects. So we have more, but we have more than 6 group of students, because we have 48 students. The group had 4 or 5 students top. So few of these themes, the subjects, was tackled by more than one group. 2 groups work in some of these problems. I think that the results was very good for 2 reasons, mainly. The perception of the partners, or at least my perception of the partners, was a good result, a high level quality of the projects of the students. I say that because one of the groups, one group that worked in one of these 2 projects were invited to participate of the selection of internship, and 2 students was approved and invited to work at LexisNexis Risk Solution Business Service. And in this group that was especially well evaluated, they will present the synthesis of this project here in this conference. I don't know exactly when, but the name of the student is Bruno Carneiro Camarra. This is the profile of the class. So in this Polytechnic School, we have 11 different engineering courses. For example, chemistry. We have this undergraduate course, chemistry, but non-students of chemistry participate of this elective course. But we have students from other modalities of engineering. Here is the students that start the course of engineering in this year, students from the second year, students that in the last year, and the students that should be already undergraduated for any reason. So these guys actually are in the 60th and 70th year of the course, and the course have just 7. They are a little late. Well, most of the students, 70% of the class, are students of the middle of the course, between second and fourth year. And here, in this point, 42% of the course belongs of the second and third year of civil engineering and electrical engineering. I'm not sure why we have so many students from engineering. Actually, this also, it's not clear. But we have many students of civil engineering. Electric, because I have a lot of people from electrical engineering working with software engineering, software engineering, system information, and things like that. Well, about the research projects, as I said, we have 2 projects with 2 different students, undergraduate students, okay? The first one is the project of Luis Fernando. He used a database of real estate of the city of São Paulo. Luis Fernando will also participate of this conference, presenting his project, and we wrote an academic paper that was accepted in this scholar conference in Brazil. This is a Brazilian conference, the main conference in production engineering in Brazil. The other project is the project of André Bravo. He analyzed a data set about loan requests, and also he also will present his project in this conference, like Luis Fernando. And academic paper was accepted in another Brazilian conference. This is more local, not so with a small number, not small number, but a lower number of participants than Brazilian National Conference. Here in this graphic, you can see the number of participants. So this Congress, where Luis Fernando will present, is the big one, with almost 2,000 participants. And the symposium that André will present his academic paper, it's a little big, smaller, but still with good size. So I repeat, the both projects will be presented here. And finally, the third line was in the extension with professional education. We have, as I said, 2 courses. The basic module about HPCC system in an intermediate. Okay, so we have a key data, the key one class, the first class, the second class for a basic module. Here we have the number of the registration, and here the real number of the students that participate of the class. So in this first semester of the process, we use to collect a symbolic fee as a form to select the students. So it didn't work good because we had other costs related with the fees, and that costs was very high, and the fee was very low. So we eliminate these fees, and we completely eliminate the other costs. So in this second semester of the process, or that was the first semester of this year, the number of the size of the demand increased. And this year, we have a big demand for the basic model. It's not clear the reason of that, but I think that it would be the same in the future. I think maybe people in Brazil didn't know nothing about these two models, that they are good, they are free, there are no fee for students. So the demand had increased, and I think that will stay in the same situation in the near future. So thinking about the future and the new alternatives for the future, for next year or next 2 or 3 years, I think that's important to think about what is important for LexisNexis Risk Solutions and what's important for University of São Paulo or production engineering department. It's not the same. I think there is much of common, but it's not exactly the same. So I think that there are some points that are more important for LexisNexis and others that are more important for university. And we should think about the package of activities, the package of collaboration projects, and not in individual terms. Analyze this project is good or not, this other project is good or not. We have to think about the portfolio of projects, the set of the projects that we could develop together. So I put here my perception about how this package, this portfolio of project could be composed. Okay, so I put here again these 3 main elements of the university in Brazil, and I think in the teaching we had this experience. I think it was a great success that should be kept in the future, the undergraduate. But I think that we can also think about the possibility to do something not exactly equal, but something like that in the graduate programs, and mainly masters program, but eventually in PhD programs also. Here again, the undergraduate research project, I put here in the teaching, not in research, because it's conducted by undergraduate students. So we can expect new breakthroughs in project with this kind of people, young people with 19, 20, 21 years old. We can also think about a prize with students, not just students from the from the course, but the students of the school. In the other area, extension, I think there's two courses that in the previous slides was a success, and we have to keep this short duration. That two courses, a basic, intermediate module, they had around 30 hours each. But we could also think about medium duration. Here it's around 360 hours, more or less. Okay. We could think about academic conference. We also think about a challenge, award, a competition with participants, not just from University of São Paulo, my university, but other students, okay, society in general terms. And at last but not at least, action in research area. So I put this in the last because I think it is the main point, or in the perspective of the researcher of the University of São Paulo. That's my case. I think this is the main element. My career, of the progress on career in my professional career, it's more dependent of the activities in this area of research than the others. So I put this in the end. So individual research projects, similar that projects that are funded by research funded agencies in Brazil. We could also think about in young researchers, researchers that got the PhD degree recently and work in university in collaboration with LexisNexis Risk Solutions. We could also think in projects of students of master and PhD programs. And other point that would be interesting is the visiting professor. So we could bring from abroad, other countries, other universities around the world, professors to participate of the activities here in Brazil, here in São Paulo, in University of São Paulo, in Production Engineering Department, the PhD program, in areas that are the interest of the university and also LexisNexis Risk Solution. And other thing that's mainly important, very important to the researcher, is the journal papers. It's very important to publish in this kind of outlet, and also to participate in the academic conferences. So I think, as I said, that we must think not in individual programs. We have someone here. We already done one of these projects, like short duration courses, professional education, undergraduate courses, undergraduate research projects. We have to think in the package, a package that is good for LexisNexis and also good for the University of São Paulo and also good for the professor and researcher. Okay. Well, that's it, my presentation. And I say goodbye, and I hope see you soon. Thank you.